Okay, guys, well, I'm just not seeing picture big enough for whatever reason. Let me stop share again, because it's a very small screen. Let's go over here, get you a big screen. There we go. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us on this Aurum presentation. I do not work for the company. I'm totally independent, possibly just like the person that invited you to listen to this information. I'm an educator, I'm a teacher. I'm here to present the information, and I cannot give you any financial advice. I'm not in that business. I'm not qualified to give you advice. I am here just to share the information with you. I would always promote that you do speak to someone with, I suppose, with experience in any business. If you're getting involved in any business or making any business decisions, or if you're ever going to invest in a company or anything, it's best always to speak to somebody who has some experience in that field. And I would do that myself. If I'm starting a business, I would always speak to my accountant. I've used him for 30 odd years for my other businesses, and he's best placed to know the situation about most of these businesses. With that said, please do get your own advice, and I'm going to present this for educational purposes. The good news where we start off tonight is we're going to talk about the people behind the company. We're going to talk particularly about the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. There's also a co-founder of the opportunity. His name is Mr. Brian Benson. Mr. Brian Benson from California, yes, went to school at San Diego University, left school, went straight into the banking world. He joined some of the smaller banks that were eventually taken over by Morgan Stanley. And there he was a trader where he learned to trade and was quite successful with Morgan Stanley. He left Morgan Stanley and then moved into this incredible digital world of cryptocurrency, and he was hired by Binance. And Brian headed up the whole Binance operation in Latin America. He opened Mexico for CZ. He opened up Chile, Peru, Argentina, Brazil, all these big markets in South America and LATAM. He was responsible for the legalities and setting up the companies. In fact, he told me that the Binance companies were originally in his name before CZ converted them to Binance. So he had a big role to play there, and we're delighted about that, because that gives us maybe a little bit of confidence in knowing we have someone with experience, someone that's been down this route before, someone that has developed an exchange before. And of course, Binance is probably the most successful one we know of. However, Binance, for most people, and some countries, is not compliant. They don't offer their services anymore. But the new age of cryptocurrency has really struck home since the US presidential elections. What's actually occurred is there's a very positive spin on cryptocurrency. Social media is positive. Many governments are positive, but not all, but many are. And lots of the large finance houses that we depend on are now very proactive in their cryptocurrency activities. They're the likes of Michael Saylor coming from Strategy. We look at BlackRock and these large companies. They're all getting involved. So after 15 years of maybe a little bit of negativity around cryptocurrency, we're now seeing some positivity, and I think everybody's going to join the bandwagon. Well, Brian Benson's goal is to create an exchange that's much simpler, much easier to use than the likes of Binance. Binance is fantastic. It's complex. It's there for cryptocurrency type people, but the new people are lost. They don't know what to click, what this means, what that means, graphs and bar charts. I mean, it is quite a complex site. So he wants to create a very simple, user-friendly interface where we can onboard to this digital age very simply, and he wants to onboard millions upon millions of customers, just as he's done before. So I'd never really heard of Brian Benson, so I decided to do a Google. You're entitled to do the same. I typed in B-R-Y, that's how you spell Brian in his case, not B-R-I, B-R-Y-A-N, Benson. I just put Binance behind my search, Brian Benson, Binance. I pressed the search button. I then clicked on images, and lo and behold, I was delighted to see none other than our own CEO, Mr. Brian Benson, is all over the place. That means he's real. He is the Brian Benson. There are other Brian Bensons. This is the Brian Benson from Binance. We can see him with the Binance shirt on. We can see younger photographs, older photographs. We can see him with the Aurum background. We can see him with the Binance logos. This is the man himself. Of course, we've interviewed him, and many people have interviewed him, and we're delighted to know that he's heading up and steering the ship for us to guide us safely through these waters of cryptocurrency. In an article I read that they also had 12 million investment coming from venture capitalists. Venture capitalists are smart people with their money. They no doubt have done their due diligence on Brian Benson and on the Aurum platform. It gave them a $100 million valuation, and they appointed Brian from Binance as to lead this exchange. I read the article. It says Brian Benson is best known for his instrumental role in Binance's dominance in Latin America. Brian spearheaded the platform's exponential growth. And I spent 3 days with Brian myself. I decided after doing my own due diligence that it was important to meet him. And I was asking him questions like, well, why did you leave Binance? And what's your goal here? And what do you want to achieve? And how was it with Binance? And he told me it wasn't easy. They came from no one. In a year, they became a unicorn company, one of these monstrous companies, very, very, very successful. And he said it didn't come without challenges. Onboarding millions of customers globally, onboarding hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars into cryptocurrency from fiat currency is a major achievement. And he was there through that growth. He has that experience, and that's what made me a little bit comfortable with the Aurum exchange. The next part that resonated with me was when I found out that Forbes magazine had written an article, and inside that article it mentions Aurum providing institutional grade trading. Now, again, I'm sure all of us have heard of Forbes, maybe not everybody, but Forbes in our part of the world would be seen as a reputable media company. They have this Forbes magazine that features CEOs on the front cover. They have, what else do they have? They have the rich lists, the richest people in the United States, the richest people in the world, the top 100 richest people in Asia. They do all of this kind of performance-based data and share that with people. And I'm sure that if they wrote something wrong about you or me or anybody else, they're liable to be sued. And what we see here is that they're happy to talk that Aurum does provide institutional grade trading, so we can assume that Forbes have done their homework on Brian Benson. I'm very happy to talk about the man. We also noticed that Brian Benson is actually writing on the Forbes Finance Council. He's written an article called Fix the Money with Technology, and you can fix the world. And ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, the present financial system that we live in is broken. It's absolutely broken. It started in 1971 with, I forget whose administration was it? Was it Nixon? Who was it? 1971, they removed the relationship between the backing of gold bullion in vaults from the printing of money. And therefore, since that point in time, the Federal Reserve, the governments around the world, they're not the governments, but the banking sector around the world has been printing money off a printing press. We know what happened in Mr. Mugabe's country. They went into hyperinflation because they were printing that much money. And there was no control. And that has created situations for all of us. It's affected our homes, our businesses, our values. It's created inflation, hyperinflation, market crashes, and that's all because there's no control of the money. What Brian writes about is if you can fix money with technology, and what he's referring to is the blockchain. The blockchain is the most transparent ledger you'll find. It's immutable. It cannot be changed, edited, altered. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of technology that makes things honest and real. And like Bitcoin, with 21 million Bitcoin, you cannot print 22 million Bitcoin. It's impossible. So when you can fix the money with technology and now with AI, you could fix the world. So when I saw that Brian was a writer on Forbes, and when I saw also that on Binance, he uses the Binance platform for AMAs. AMA means Ask Me Anything. He uses their, a bit like this Zoom, they use the Binance platform for speaking. So he's a well-spoken, well-knowledgeable guy in technology. This is myself and himself. I met him and his wife. I spent 3 days. I had morning coffee, afternoon coffee. I had meals, lunchtime meals, evening meals. I even went out on a boat with them for a day. this is about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago at the latest, and we went for a swim, and we asked a lot of questions. Why did you leave finance? What are you going to do here, etc., etc. Now, lots of other people have also interviewed him, and I'd like you all guys to listen to this for just 30 seconds. I want you to listen as hard as you possibly can to what this gentleman's about to say. He was there at the beginning of finance. He was there through the growth, through the pains of growth. He was there when they became this unicorn company. He was the director for all of Latin America, a man with a lot of experience. He wants to now create a billion-dollar brand with Aurum, and he's looking for 1,000 millionaires. Not that you're a millionaire today, but he wants to create 1,000 millionaires in the process. There are so many people who have made so much money with cryptocurrency, with this technology. Brian wants to create 1,000 millionaires to get his billion-dollar brand. Here we go. Have a listen to this.
I think if I have to sum it up in one word, it's ecosystem. At Aurum, we're building an ecosystem, and we're really trying to focus on getting this thing to a unicorn status. And what I like to say is we want to create 1,000 billionaires. And so if we can do that, then that will be a billion-dollar business. That will be a unicorn, and we'll be very excited if we can accomplish that, and we're well on our way to that. So
there you go, 1,000 millionaires. Is that possible for you? Is that possible for me? Well, it's entirely down to you. I've been very, very fortunate to earn somewhere in the region of $210,000 with this opportunity in 4 months, which is quite incredible. It tells you that the platform is robust. It tells you that the potential is most certainly here. But what also excited me about this was not just Brian Benson, not just Forbes. It was this card in my hand. What I have here is a Visa card with no name on it. It requires zero KYC, so we don't need a passport or utility bill. You can put up to $100,000 of cryptocurrency, USDT, onto the card and use it anywhere where the Visa and MasterCard logo is displayed. Therefore, we have now access to spend our cryptocurrency profits in what you could describe as a predominantly fiat world. And we're having a lot of excitement about this. Now, this card is coming through its beta test right now. Unfortunately, we got 4,000 orders the first day we launched it. That's put a strain on it already. They're printing 10,000 of these cards right now because they've just less than 10,000 members. So there's a little bit of delay on the new members getting this, but it's coming up very, very, very soon. Keep your eye on this, guys. This is essential. I do a training on a Sunday evening, and I'll show you how, with just sharing this card with 3 people, and we take that 6 generations deep, you could make yourself between $7,000 and $15,000 a month with a card like this. Because we get paid when people order this card, we get paid when people use this card. So if you've got friends that go shopping and use their Visa card, how would you like to get paid? Every time they get gas, they get petrol, they pay their cell phone bill, maybe they go on holidays, maybe they withdraw for the ATM. You know, imagine building a community with card holders for cryptocurrency with no KYC. I think that's going to be a big, big, big sell, and great potential coming with this. We don't need to focus on this today. I'm going to talk about some of the other products. I was also able to meet Gulnara, the development director. I did not meet Ahmed Zen. However, I have spoken to him certainly on 10 or 15 occasions through Zoom connection, but I haven't met him personally. I intend to do that in the near future. The whole background team is coming from great, I suppose, great professionals. They're coming from the likes of Wise, OKX, BitGet, Morgan Stanley, as we've mentioned, of course, Binance. Imagine that. So I think we're in good shape to do good business here. Here's a statement many of you have seen. I saw this when I came into the industry 25 years ago. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll probably work until you die. And that didn't ring home with me first time I saw it. It didn't ring home with me the second time I saw it. In fact, it didn't ring home with me anytime until my own parents passed. And once my own parents passed, and I read this at the time, I went, wow, Mom and Dad, they worked so hard. I'm one of 9 kids. They worked so hard. They had traditional business. They worked in the shops. They had a hardware store. They started a limousine business. And in the limousine business in San Diego, in Southern California, they worked like, I don't know, like the business owned them. They didn't own the business. They were worried about customers not getting picked up on time, airport pickups, the dilemma of the freeways in Southern California. busy highways? How do I get to my client on time? So they lived their lives serving their customers, building their business. And unfortunately, they never learned how to they made lots of money, yes, but they didn't find a way to make their money work for them. They ended up being slaves to their business. And I feel with the product that I'm using now with Aurum that maybe I found the solution. Maybe you will find a solution here that we just don't have to do what we have been doing, because this product makes money whether you're sleeping, whether you're eating, whether you're on holidays, whether you're traveling. In fact, I was in hospital on Friday. I was under surgery in the theater for 5 hours, well, from 11 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. And I woke up to lots of profits, and serious profit. I made $50,000 last Friday, just passed, through this platform for a bonus that I received. And that just shows you can make money even when you're knocked out. You can make money with the right product, with the right company, with the right structure, with the right strategy. So I hope you can be as successful as I've been so far. And I'm here to just share the information, show you how I did it, and maybe you can do part of what I did or do more than what I did. That's entirely up to you. What I can tell you is we are all equal. I'm no better than you. I don't feel I'm any worse than you. I have 24 hours a day and you have 24 hours a day. The CEO that represents Aurum is Brian Benson for me, and that's the same Brian Benson that represents the company for you. The products that I can use are the same products that you can use. The compensation plan that I use is the exact same one, so we're equal. There's no difference. The only difference is sitting on your seat right now. What are you prepared to do with this? Okay, to sort the men from the boys, the ladies from the girls, it's $20, just less than $20 for the entire year to use the whole ecosystem platform, except the card. The card you have to buy. But all of their other products are available to you 24/7 at your discretion for $20. Now, when I first saw this, I was a little bit concerned. I said, you mean to say people are going to pay $20? I went, because most platforms are free. And Brian Benson says, absolutely, yes, $20. And he would not consider doing it for free, because if you get paid, or if you're incentivized to recruit someone and get paid for it, potentially in some markets that's considered illegal. In other words, let's say you introduce me to a platform you're involved with, and I put in $1,000 and you made money on that you were incentivized to recruit me. That's not the way business should be done. So Brian Benson said to me clearly, he says, no, anybody you recruit into this platform, anybody you join, you do not get paid for recruitment. So this is totally, this subscription, we don't get any money from it. They're not going to pay out anything. This is entirely a subscription, like a gym membership or a golf course membership. It's $20 for the entire year to use the platform. And what that does, that serves well for the company, because if they put on 1 million customers, they've got $20 million a year. That would deal for customer service, background support, server fees. There's actually a user fee per user per platform, no matter what program we join. And if these costs aren't absorbed by a fee like this, then it's going to hurt other areas of the business. They're going to take it from trading or somewhere else. So very, very pleased that they've taken this step. I'm very, very pleased that it sorts out for me who's interested in the business and who's not. If you're not interested in paying this, well then off you go. Off you go and do what you wish to do. So I'm now backing the company with this $20 fee. I think it's fabulous. I think it's fabulous that it keeps the company fluid, and we do not get paid for recruitment. We do, however, get paid if one of our customers decides to use one of the products, and that's perfectly fine. As long as we don't get paid for signing people up, I'm happy that they're looking at this from a compliance point of view. I think it's fabulous. Now, let me talk about some of the products. They have about, I'm going to say 7, 8, 9, or 10 products. I didn't count them all, but something in that range. I haven't used them all, so I'm not going to tell you about them all. I will only ever tell you about things I've used myself, things that I enjoy, and things that I think that I understand. I'm not going to tell you about a product, no different than I wouldn't recommend a restaurant had I not eaten in that restaurant. So out of the 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 products I've used, I think about 4 of them, and I'm happy to share my experience with these 4 products. Now, my favorite product is on the screen. It's called the EXI bot. It's their longest standing product. It launched back in 2023. It was only for family offices, high net worth individuals, kind of institutional grade trading. In fact, you will learn that only 30% of their revenues is coming from the network element. And that's been quite a recent adoption now, because as they steer towards opening these exchanges, they're going to need a lot of data, a lot of customers. They're going to launch the Aurum token, and if you recall, BNB, the Binance token, is the gas fee utility for the Binance exchange. Well, 8 years ago, BNB was 8 cents. Today, it's over $600. Why? Because it's needed to do for the transactions and the trading inside the Binance exchange. Brian Benson is going to create the Aurum token. Now, that's an opportunity, not today, but in the future, certainly by the end of the year, where we might be fortunate enough to get our hands on the Aurum token that could potentially see value as a utility token on the Aurum exchange. So that's something that's coming up. We're not to talk about that today, but it just shows you there appears to be a roadmap, a future for what we're looking at tonight. With that said, this bot has done 467% up until June this year. I can tell you there's over 30 million trading, even though the slide says 22 million. That was taken on the 21st of June. I know at the beginning of August, this particular bot by itself has more than 30 million trading in there. The results, when we break them down, are quite spectacular. They range from 9% in a month, maximum, the worst case scenario, to probably the best month they ever had was 23%. But the bot's quite smooth at the moment: 17, 17, 19, 16, 18, 15, 16. You can see on a monthly basis there, it's quite regular. In the early days, a couple of years back, it was quite rocky. It was up and down, but always positive. And this led to one of my first questions to Brian Benson: how come it goes from up and down, like 18, then 11, 15, then 9? How can it go from there to something so smooth as we see at the moment? And his answer was, it's to do with the AI. The AI is a learning algorithm. When it started off, it had no data to process. It had no past history to reflect on. And in its experience, as it grows and it learns, it now can rely on many decisions it's made before. It can do up to 10,000. Did he tell me 10,000? It can do 10,000 processes in 1 second, something like that. Far superior than us humans. It's incredible. It's got its own risk management built into it. It's got data feeds from every news channel, from every social media channel, from every exchange feeding into it. It's got live traders overseeing these bots as well. The bot will not be turned on unless it's manned by at least 1 or 2 live traders. And that's very, very important, so that they can disengage it at any time if it doesn't disengage itself from the exchange, to protect our funds. So we learned a lot about the risk management and what had been set up with these particular bots. But Brian Benson told me, even in the banking world, when he was back at Morgan Stanley, they were using the early formations of AI to trade. They were taking people's money from businesses and they were trading up their profits, giving the businesses very little and banks making all the money. He says, now it's our turn. Now it's our turn for ordinary folk to enjoy the benefits of this technology. Now, on average, if we could say the bot would render around about 17.5% a month. Here's the bad news: we don't get all of that. All right, that's not what you're getting. What you're getting is determined purely by the deposit you make to your own account. So each of us can open our own account inside this bank. We call it the Aurum Neo Bank. Neo means new, the Aurum New Bank. You make your deposit into your account, your own account, and from there then you decide which product you'd like to try. So on the EXI bot, let's say it's less than $250, you're going to enjoy rewards in around 10% a month, which is exceptional. For those of you who can afford, let's say $1,400, you'd fall into this threshold here. You get about 12% a month. I was fortunate enough to start with $10,000, so I was expecting to earn somewhere in the region of 14-15%. So really, your rewards are determined by the deposit that you decide to make to your product. A couple of things about this. Number one, there is no packages. Once I heard that, I thought that was quite unique. No packages like $100, $500,000, nothing like that. It's determined by what you deposit. So you could put in $112.14. You could put in $922.08. You could put in $10,946. Just doesn't matter. But what you put in determines the rate of reward that you receive. So that was the first thing. No package. The second thing is there's no cap. I was familiar with platforms that offered you 2x on your money or 3x or 4x. Brian Benson didn't understand that. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, there's platforms you get 3x and you're out. He said, well, how could you be out? Your money's still there. You can't be out. We've got the technology there, we've the traders there, we've the exchanges there, the bots are there. It continues to trade. It's if you withdraw your money, you're out. But we don't stop the cap. Wow, that's interesting. So no cap, which was quite interesting. What else could I tell you? Yes, you can trade up. What does that mean? Let's say you started hypothetically with $220 as a test, and you forgot about this for a couple of weeks, and you popped back in and looked at your account, and it was up to $260 as an example. Well, because you've compounded up from beyond $250 into the next threshold, then you would enjoy the next threshold of rewards. You would jump up to the 11%. So you can trade up to get a higher reward, or you can top up. So what is top up? Well, let's say you don't have much money at the moment, you try $100 or $200 or $300, and at the end of the month, the salary or the wages comes through and you have a little bit more, you could actually top up your existing account to jump into that higher threshold. So maybe today you're on 11%, and at the end of next month you're on 13 because you made another deposit. So it has that potential as well. Very, very, very flexible. You have the ability to withdraw every single day. There's no lockup on your profits. So, and the big question is, well, what do they charge for withdrawing? Well, you'd be pleasantly surprised. I've been involved with platforms that charge up to 10% on withdrawals. Here, you can enjoy 1% plus $1. So if you need cash flow, don't compound. Just allow your profit to hit your account. You can send it straight onto the card and start using your profits in the shop. Or alternatively, you can add a wallet of your choice, like a USDT TRC20 wallet, a BEP wallet, and of course withdraw to any exchange of your choice. Whether that's centralized, decentralized, whether it's off-chain or whatever, you can withdraw to your own account. Or if you have the card, you can top up the card. So you can stop the bot and say, send $100 onto the card, and you would be able to spend your USDT, your cryptocurrency, in this predominantly fiat world. So very, very exciting product. This is my favorite product. All of our ranking in the affiliate program is generated by the revenue turnover inside this bot. This is one we must focus on. There are other products as well. I'll give you a brief description of those. I don't think it's important to understand them all tonight, but let me show you how my little account is done. Little account? Well, yeah, I call it a little account. You might call it quite a big account. I started on the 10th of April, just 4 months ago, and I made a deposit of $10,000 to my account. I chose the XI bot, and I chose to reinvest. Now, when you make a deposit, you are not initially compounding. Your daily profit will go to your withdrawal wallet for you to take out. It's up to you to engage the reinvest button by simply sliding this little white button in the green section. If you slide it over and you're on to reinvest, if you slide it back, you're off. You are in total control of your funds. In other words, let's say you wanted to compound for a week and then turn it off because you need some money, you need some cash flow. Well, then turn off the compounding and allow the money to go to your wallet. Okay, so you have that flexibility. I chose to let it compound, and you can see after 5 weeks, I gained 23% in 5 weeks. Incredible. The next screenshot from my account is on the 24th of June. You can see that on the right-hand side here, the 24th of June, 1:38. I suppose that might have been AM. Now we're looking at a 10-week trading period from the 10th of April when I started. You can see it's the same account. Hash B3441970 is the same account, same start date, same time I made my deposit of $10,000. But look now, 10 weeks later, I've got $15,500, effectively 55% in 10 weeks. My next screenshot was a month ago, 10th of July. Many of you on my previous webinars would have seen this, and the top part of this slide would not have been complete. The 12 weeks had generated me 74%. Yeah, $10,000 is now up to $17,471. Fabulous. And just recently then, 2 days ago, I was able to take another screenshot of my account. As it presently sits, it's jumped up to 103% in 4 months. So $10,000 is now sitting at $20,000. Now, tell me this, had I sold my house and put $100,000 in, that would be more than $200,000. So it's incredible. Very, very pleased. I've I've tested withdrawals multiple times. I suppose I've done about 20 withdrawals so far. I can show you those at the end of the presentation. I would now like to bring you to a different account. This actually belongs to my wife. Let me show you how it works. Now, in her account, on the 11th of April, she deposited 5,000. And then the following day, 12th of April, she put another 5,000 in. You're probably looking here and you see 7,500, but that's because she was compounding for a period of time and got them 5,000 up to 7,500. But on the 9th of July, she decided to turn off one of the reinvest buttons, meaning that all of her daily profit would go up here to withdraw. This 109, she could press the withdraw button to take that out to any wallet of her choice, or she could pop it up onto her Visa card. And you can do both. You can either put it on the card, or if you'd like to go to an exchange, you can put it there. So this is simply to show you that you can compound or otherwise. So the top account, she's going to compound. The bottom account, she's going to take out the money every day for cash flow, maybe to pay the bills, buy groceries, stuff like that. Now I'm going to show you the next slide. Have a look at this. It's the same account. Watch what happens. The 7,500 in the top account is now 8,700. She's made $1,200 in 30 days with this account. But look, the bottom account is all putting the money here for withdrawal. Again, you can put that 533 straight onto your card by pressing the button, pop up card, or you can press withdraw. For those of you who don't have a card, your only option would be to withdraw the money to USDT wallet. So I like the fact that you're in control of your money. There's options there. And there's something here, I think, for everyone. So all of what I've shown you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, or today, depending what time it is where you are, is the EXI bot, my favorite product, their most successful product, the one with the most data, the one with the best results. They do have other products, but these products are available on Telegram. Telegram is a decentralized communication channel. Many of you use it, some people don't. A bit like WhatsApp, you can use Telegram. They have a mini app on Telegram where you can trade over there in what I would call a decentralized fashion as well. They have a product called the EXI Pro Bot, very like the EXI bot, but the only difference is the Pro Bot. The challenge here with this one is you cannot trade any more in Telegram than what you already have in the EXI bot. What does that mean? Well, let's say you have $200 over trading here, you couldn't put any more than 200 into the Telegram. If you up this to $500, then 500 here. Now, of course, you can trade less. Let's say you had $500 in EXI, you can put $100 over here if you wish, as long as it doesn't exceed what you have in the EXI bot. This is trading multiple pairs USDT against many pairs. These trades are done on Binance, OKX, KuCoin. They mentioned some other exchanges, and we'll show you some of that data a little bit later. Now, they do have another product called the Zeus bot. And again, without confusing you, this is another product available on Telegram. I suggest you don't touch either of these two until you're well familiar with the first product. So maybe this week, try this product, test your withdrawals, see your profits, and then maybe the week later, if you'd like to try these other products, come and learn more about these. But I just want to give you a quick overview on these products. The Zeus bot allows those with Bitcoin or Ethereum, BNB, Pepe, or Doge. If you have any of those 5 tokens or coins, you can put them to work here in Telegram. Maybe you have a little bit of Bitcoin sitting on an account not doing much for you. Maybe you have a little bit of USDT sitting on a platform, just sitting there doing nothing, but up and down or with the markets. And you can use them here without any lockup on your capital. In other words, I have one customer actually who has some money sitting aside for they're doing an extension on their home, and they something like $30,000 sitting there, but they don't need it right now, but they will need it within 3 months. So those guys are happy to pump it in here to Zeus, and they can take that out when they need it. If they need it in an emergency, they can take it out the same day, next day. No lockup on their capital. The withdrawal fee is 1%, so it is a great product. For those of you who have those tokens, it's absolutely great. For those of you that don't have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Pepe, and BNB, let's say you don't have any of those, because actually I didn't. I had Bitcoin, but I didn't have any BNB, Ethereum, I didn't have any Pepe or Doge, right? But I did have Bitcoin, so I only tried Bitcoin. But you can actually make money when you qualify through our compensation plan. You can get a matching bonus on the trading profits of your customer base. So actually one of my customers put in a lot of Pepe to trade, and I started getting these rewards in Pepe, and I went, well, why am I getting Pepe? I don't have any Pepe. And all of a sudden, I started to understand that because one of my customers had kept me in there, I was getting a matching bonus on those profits. And now I've got all of these running, even though I only ever put Bitcoin into the platform myself. And I'm happy that the Bitcoin's growing. I'll show you my account just now. When you go to Telegram, and again, I don't want you doing this if you're new. I prefer you do this, say, in a week's time. Just go for the first product. So essentially, the presentation could have been over 5 minutes ago, but I just want for our other customers to see how this operates. Go and you search for Aurum Neobank on the Telegram application. You open up the app, you'll see something like this. You can order your card here when that's ready. There's in the drop-down menu here, there's a wallets and bots and different things you see. There are a few shortcuts on the bottom. You can see the Aurum Neobank bot. At the bottom here, there's got a home button. It's got the card if you want to get the card. This is where you top up your card. So you stop the bot and send the money to your card. Or you don't even have to stop the bot. You could take your profit from the bot and send the profit to the card and keep your money trading. There's a lot of flexibility here. The third button would be your referral link if you want to use that, and then the little shortcut here to the trading bots is a little rocket here, so really, really cool. So I want to show you what happened for my Bitcoin. Now, I'm very fortunate to have a little bit of Bitcoin. I decided that I was comfortable enough putting in 0.7 BTC. Now, somebody said to me, well, I can't see 0.7 anywhere. I see 0.81. Well, that's exactly the point. I only put in 0.7, but it's already 0.81. I made my deposit on the 31st of May this year. So about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, I put in 0.7 Bitcoin. And if you look at the slide right now, you'll see that 0.7 has grown to 0.71, 0.72, 0.79, 0.8, 0.81. Then I started to people wanted to follow this journey, so I showed them, well, here, the next time I logged in, it was 0.82, then it went to 0.84. I actually missed the 0.83. You can see it just went over the 0.83 to 0.8404, and then went up to 0.85, 0.86, and now it's 0.87. And you can see the profit. Current profit was 0.0033 Bitcoin. It had made 0.3%. And then yesterday, I think it went up to 0.087. Some of you guys went to the live account to see that. And I suppose tonight it might go to 0.88. So this 0.7 of a Bitcoin is on its journey to 1 full Bitcoin. And I welcome all of you to follow me on this journey. If you're not going to do it yourself, maybe you could annoy yourself to watch my account growing. This 0.87 will be 0.88, 0.89, 9192, all the way to 1 Bitcoin. And after which I don't need to give you any other evidence after that. So I'm using all of the Zeus bots. I'm using the EXI Pro. You can see here the Pro is this first one. Then I'm using Bitcoin, Doge, Ethereum, BNB, and Pepe. Even though I didn't deposit anything in these four, I only put in the Bitcoin. I'm earning off all of these accounts because my team is now trading these. And by the way, when I say the team is trading, it's automatic trading. You have nothing to do, nothing to place. It's all fully automated for you on Telegram. Now, some people would ask about the level of transparency. Certainly when you open the Neobank bot, you can click on any of the trading links. You probably enjoy between 4 and 7 trades per day. The bot is only turned on at these particular times of day. It doesn't run 24/7. And it might only be on for 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 25 minutes, I think is the most I've seen it on. When you click on any of these links, it'll show you exactly the trade that occurred. It'll tell you the entry price, the exit price, the spread, profit and loss, the date of the trade. So again, if any of you want to check this out, on the 13th of April, go find out what price was BTC back then. Can you believe it? Just a couple of months ago, Bitcoin was $85,000. Why didn't we sell the house? Why didn't we sell the house? Anyway, it's going to keep going. My belief is that Bitcoin is going to go towards $1 million. That's where it's heading. So great time to start accumulating Bitcoin. The bot was turned on at 3:59, turned on at 4:04, it's on for 5 minutes. If I click this Binance link, it'll pull you straight to the Binance exchange where the trade occurred. Here's another screenshot. We're looking now at the 26th of June. Do you see that? 26th of June. Bitcoin's up to 107. The bot was on from 8:55 to 9:20. That's 25 minutes. Next screenshot is 109. And Bitcoin's up to 117. It's only on for 15 minutes this day. From 8:55, they turned it off at 9:10. Now, I have noticed that sometimes the bot goes out and comes back with no profit. In other words, it's looking for an opportunity, it's looking for a trade, it's working on the data, it's working on its risk management, and maybe it just doesn't find an opportunity, or maybe there's noise in the market. Maybe Mr. Trump says something to annoy China, and the markets are going a little bit funny, so that it won't take on that trade. So I've seen sometimes that if you look on the left-hand side, it says 4 deals profitable, all 4 were profitable. You might have 4 deals with only 3 profitable. The third, the one that's not profitable may not lose. It may be going out and coming back at the exact same price, no difference in price. It never took the trade and didn't lose. So I've noticed that. So just wanted to tell you that. You can see this, if I click on OKX, it'll pull me straight to that platform where the trade occurred. The next image I want to show you belongs to a customer of mine, well, customer of a friend of mine, not my direct customer. This guy works at government level in the transportation industry. After a conversation with Brian Benson, he was happy enough to put in a Bitcoin. I put in 0.7. This guy put in 1 full Bitcoin to trade. Here is a very good friend of mine. I know him for 20 odd years, maybe longer than that. Ex-bank manager, worked in the bank as a manager for 17 years. He's now retired, left the bank. He's now gone to the other side. He's now in the crypto world. And of course, after a conversation with Brian Benson, he was very happy to put in 2.75 Bitcoin. That's $300,000. You can also see up above in the Ethereum bot, he put in 34 Ethereum, he tells me. And that had been trading for 26 days. So here's one customer, probably in excess of $500,000 on the platform, and a customer here with 120,000. It's incredible the amount of people that are trusting this, that are excited about this, are using this, are enjoying the profits. It's exceptional. Let's talk a little bit about the card. The card, I suppose in the next week or two, you'll all be able to go for that card. They're waiting on the next batch available. They're going to have to up their ante with the card because it's going to be very, very, very popular. We're also going to be able to use this on Apple and Google without having to go into Telegram to order it. The native apps will be available in the Play Store and in the Apple Store very, very soon. As I said, there's no KYC required, so we don't need your utility bill, your passport, your driving license. The limit will be $100,000 a month. If you require more than that, you're going to need to do KYC. Top-up fees is 2.2%. Speaking to some people in the banking world, to convert cryptocurrency or fiat to crypto at 2.2%, they said that's quite a low fee. But here's the good news. All of that 2.2% fees come to us in the team. That does not go to Visa. That does not go to Aurum. The load fees are 100% distributed to the network, to the field. So now, if you have customers that want the card, you get paid when they order the card. When your customer goes and buys petrol, you're going to get paid. When they buy groceries, you get paid. When they go shopping, you get paid. Because they have to load the card to use the card, and therefore you're actually indirectly getting paid as people spend money. So you, in fact, have your own little bank operating with tens of thousands of customers. And I do a little training on this on a Sunday evening if you're willing to watch that by simply sharing this card with a few people and them telling a few, you can get paid unlimited generations of card users, which is quite exciting. So this is a business in itself, just the card, never mind the trading opportunities.
Aurum Neobank is a next-generation financial ecosystem with a fully integrated cycle. Top up your balance, earn through the trading bot, spend with your card, and restart the loop. Choose from 4 card tiers: Nova, Imperium, World Elite, and Infinity. Each unlocks access to cryptocurrency payments, low fees, and premium rewards. No verification required. Minimal fees. Physical card included. Higher transaction limits. Take control of your finances and grow your wealth with Aurum Neobank.
Boom, exciting stuff. There will be 4 versions of the card available, starting out as little as $33. There'll be a $66 card, a $99 card, but the one I'm going to promote only will be the $249. Why? Well, I'm sure any of you will probably have the desire to live in probably the best house in your neighborhood. Wouldn't that be nice to live in the best house in the neighborhood? Wouldn't it be nice to drive the best car in the neighborhood? Well, similarly, it's nice to have the best card in the neighborhood as well. And the 249 card is the best card because number one, no KYC. Number two, the lowest fees available. Number three, lowest transaction fees. Number four, the most commissionable referral bonus, $150. Out of that 250 goes back to the network. So out of every 250 customer that comes on board, $150 of that is shared with all of us guys. So imagine we're getting paid as people want to spend cryptocurrency around the world. And the limit, $100,000. I can't believe it. I said, who would want $100,000 on a card? Well, had I not been successful with this business, I would envisage that maybe $15,000 a month is enough to have on a card. But now that I've made more than $200,000 in 4 months, I can now see why a $100,000 card is going to be important to some people. Those of you that are willing to roll up your sleeves, those of you who are willing to lock arms with us, those of you that are willing to put in the effort to build your business, there's no doubt you're going to need the best card out there. So that's all I want to talk about the card. You get the differential between where you're coded and where some customers in your team are coded. You can get paid on all top-ups, all card purchases to infinity levels. You need to rank up to get a higher level to enjoy those benefits. Hypothetically, if you were prime, like the 7th rank in the compensation plan, you would get 76% of the $150 commission. You make $100 a customer. When the customers top up their card, you get 76% of the top-up fee at 2.2%. So hypothetically, if I was your customer and you were at rank 7, you would get 76% of the $150 commission. You would get 76% of the 2.2% loading fees. So now that I've got a card, I'm your happy customer, but I tell my friend Tom, because I'm new and I'm Nova, I get 35% of the card issuance fee. I get 35% of the top-up value. But guess what you get? You get the difference because you're rank 7 and I'm rank 1. You get the difference. The difference between 35 and 76, you get 41% on my customers' cards. You don't even know who my customers are. You're making more than me. I'm getting 35%. You're getting 41. When my customers load up their card to go shopping, you get paid 41% of their load fees. I get 35%. So you, by keeping a differential between you and where all your customers to infinity level, Steve, you can build a massive business with this card. Very, very excited about this one, guys. But again, don't focus on it. Focus on the EXI bot. There's no point having a card if you have no money to put on it. Does that make sense? There's no point having a card if you have no money to put on it. Get the bot, make the money, then you need the card. That's how I see it. I'd like to show you the first 2 transactions conducted in the UK. A good friend of mine, John. I don't know did John make the call tonight, but John, you will notice in the card, his name is not on the card, as it's not on mine, because there's no KYC required. Here we go.
Right, here we go. First transaction in the UK for the Aurum card. Let's see this working. Authorised. Happy days.
Good job. And then John's boss, his good wife, sent him to the shop to get some milk. John obliged by getting milk and a bottle of wine, I noticed, or I don't know what that is, a bottle of coloured water. But anyway, in he goes to the grocery store, and here he's spending USDT in a fiat world. So all the shops will be paid in the currency of their denomination of their country. However, we're spending USDT in a fiat world with this card. Here we go.
Here we go then. Second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
Thank you.
And of course, I'm very grateful for John for sharing these videos with me. Many customers have shared their videos with me, but these 2 videos have made me an entire fortune.